In the virtual world, your website is like a digital handshake, and we want that first impression to matter. But how do we transform your website into love at first sight for your clients? Here are 3 ways that we can weave that love magic into your website and make that website a place that really sings and connects with your ideal clients. The first step is to use client-centric language. Client-centric language is so important. If your website is full of words like I, me, that's not client-centric. We want the language on your website to be able to reflect the needs, challenges, and aspirations of your client and show that you understand what they need and that you can create this connection that makes them feel seen and understood and valued. So test that, do the eye test on your website. If you see a lot of eyes, it's not as client-centric as you think. Another thing that you can do, check your website and make sure that you are focusing on benefits in addition to features. So a feature is something that is deliverable. It's part of your service. It's part of your product. Whereas a benefit is what happens once a client uses that feature or why you've chosen that feature. So a good example of this would be if you have chosen to have a 45-minute lesson model versus a 30-minute lesson model, communicate exactly why you are doing that. In my case, it's because I know that those 45 minutes are going to give those students a lot more time to explore, time to gamify concepts, time to ask more questions, and time to actually understand how to practice before they go home. All right. Another little tip here for websites, inclusive language. Make it accessible. When you are choosing the words to use on your site, make sure that you're not using jargon that's not going to be understood by a client. So if you are going to write about how you can help someone with that break in their voice, don't use a whole bunch of voice teachery words that your client is not going to understand at this point. Use language that is simple, that is accessible, and that will speak to where they are at this point in their journey. Your website is like a story. An effective website will tell a story and create this narrative that guides people through the website in a way that moves them to take action. And one of the best ways that we can do that is by writing it from a standpoint that makes our client the hero of their own journey. Like it was in English class, right? The hero's journey. It's that concept of being able to craft a narrative where your client is at the center of that narrative and you are telling them that you understand where they are in that journey and that you are highlighting how your services or your products can empower them to overcome their challenges and achieve their goals. All right, final bit here is I love making websites fun and interactive because it's a great way to get clients to stick around and spend a little bit more time there. So if you are selling courses or lessons or anything like that, or if you're trying to keep your wait list entertained, consider having things like quizzes, interactive infographics, or engaging blog content, because that can turn a passive website visitor into an active participant. And their goal is to create more engagement and increase the time that they are spending on your site, because when we are able to do that, we are able to better establish our brand as an authority and build that know, like, trust that is necessary for that client to take the next step. All right. Those are all of our tips for today. If you want to get a hold of the full broadcast where we talked about everything, you can drop the word love down below. And if you want to learn about the audit services that we provide here at Savvy Music Studio, the Savvy Sarah bot will be glad to send you the link. All right, we will be back next time. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. In the meantime, stay savvy and stay you, because you are an amazing music teacher and there is no one in the world quite like you. And I think you are pretty dang awesome. We'll see you next time. Thanks for being here.